Yes, guys, we're back on the Long Island Railroad's Twitter feed because we have problems today. And let's see, where do I get started? Multiple problems today. None of them are affecting the pretty little Babylon branch, though. So let's see. I'll start over here. I guess we'll start earlier today. Let's see. All right. The problem started. All right. Let's see. Attention eastbound Shinnecock. Bus service will be provided for customers traveling through Southampton. Talk departure of the following eastbound train from Shinnecock at 2:03. Alright, that's not the problem we're talking about here. The problem that first started was Oyster Bay line being suspended due to a brush fire along the tracks. Nothing that the railroad could have helped. Talking about the bus service here being provided, limited bus service. And see, Jamaica to Oyster Bay is being further delayed due to Locust Valley due to fire department activity. 2 p.m. from Oyster Bay due to Jamaica being delayed, fire department activity. Continues to be delayed, so service suspension, which eventually resulted in a 76-minute delay for the 12:52 train from Jamaica due to Oyster Bay. It arrived 76 minutes late. And 2:52 from Jamaica due to Oyster Bay operating 22 minutes late. So, yeah, here we go. Temporarily suspended on the Oyster Bay branch due to an ongoing brush fire adjacent to the tracks. And then we have problems on the Port Washington branch. Cancellations, 2:48 from Penn due to Port Washington has been canceled at train. So I think there was hourly service at certain times, or maybe not. I don't know. At certain times, 3:42 from Port Washington due to Penn at 4:27 being delayed due to switch trouble at Port Washington. All right, and this branch is suspended. Yes, is still suspended. Train is not operating means suspended. Again, no repair. Are there buses? Yeah, probably not. However, I did see buses. I'm going to talk about that today. I did see buses at Mineola, believe it or not, and they were MTA buses, believe it or not, as well. But I'll show you that later. So switch problems continuing, and here we go. Suspension of service on the Port Washington branch. Long Island Railroad personnel are in route. Going to be late to the LI Ducks game now. Now I have to buy an city ticket. Oh, okay. I see what they were going to do. Train service remains suspended on the Oyster Bay branch in both directions between Locust Valley and Oyster Bay. Earlier, there were delays due to fire department activity. Again, that was due to the brush fire, but the 3:42 from Port Washington to Penn has been canceled. Port Washington branch remains suspended. All eastbound trains departing Penn and all westbound trains departing Jamaica making added stops at Woodside to accommodate customers. New York City Transit will cross on our Long Island Railroad tickets on the 7 train at 61st Street and Woodside and Flushing, Maine. So the Port Washington branch has not been doing well lately, and that's why I say the Babylon branch is the best branch to use because it's most reliable. Port Washington branch has problems because it's not the pretty little Babylon branch. We're told fire. Now are these coming? Penn-bound train at Great Neck. So again, people seem to be a little confused as to what's going on. 411 from Port Washington due to Penn has been canceled today due to suspension in both directions due to switch trouble. More signal problems. Yep, more signal problems because it's not the Babylon branch. That's why. Nice is probably not cross-owning. 318 from Penn to Port Washington now about getting a refund. It just continues, folks, and we know why it's happening. It's because of Elisa Picca. 411 from Port Washington due Penn at 4:56 p.m. has been canceled today due to a suspension of service in both directions due to switch trouble. Alright, I did read that already. Alright. 411, that was running late. 412 from Penn due Ronkonkoma is 5:35. Is operating 13 minutes late to accommodate customers from a late arriving connection. 415 from Penn due Babylon is operating 10 minutes late at this time. Train service then was restored between Penn and Great Neck with residual delays, but it was still suspended between Great Neck and Port Washington. What about Woodside to Bayside? All right. What about all the customers at Great Neck that need to get back to New York City? There is no train service to Penn from Great Neck, though there will be delays. Oh, there is train service from Penn to Great Neck. Several customers have been waiting here trying to be patient 90-plus minutes with no other affordable options home. Yeah. And then service has been restored between Port Washington and Great Neck with residual delays following earlier switch trouble. Can I get reimbursed from the other 20 Charlie taxi? You know, it's a freaking mess, this railroad. 452 from Penn, operating 17. I'm sorry. I'm just tired of reporting on these problems. I'm sick of it. 452 from Jamaica due to Oyster Bay at 5:46, operating 17 minutes late. 448 from Penn due to Port Washington, operating 11 minutes late. 355 from Montauk due to Jamaica, 15 minutes late. 511 from Port Washington due in Penn is operating 15 minutes late. 521 from Patchogue due to Jamaica, 10 minutes late. They did restore service between Port Washington and Great Neck eventually, but it was suspended throughout most of the afternoon. You had some delays in them. You know, I'm not going to read every single one of these. I'll scroll. So it's going to take me forever. There are a lot of late trains today. 6 p.m. Oyster Bay train from due to Jamaica, 11 minutes late. 6:28 from Shinnecock due to Jamaica. 6:20 from Shinnecock to 17. 62 from Jamaica. So there are a lot of late arriving equipment. And we have more problems later on because guess what happened later on? This was just reported on 29 minutes ago. The 821 from Penn due to in Huntington at 9:28 has been canceled at Jamaica due to equipment trouble. Customers will be accommodated by the next westbound train. Westbound? You mean eastbound? Customers will be accommodated by the next eastbound train departing Jamaica at 9:15 p.m. due in Huntington at 9:57, making added stops at Maryland Avenue and Westbury. But the question is this: why isn't the Ronkonkoma train that gets in? I don't know when it gets into Jamaica, but the what is that Ronkonkoma train? It's that Ronkonkoma train should be maybe it doesn't. Let's see, no, it's 8:50. Yeah, no, it's not gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna affect that. So, yeah, so this is a mess again. Canceled train. Yeah, because the Ronkonkoma train would be before that. But see, that Ronkonkoma train at 8:14 should have made an added stop at Mineola, but it probably didn't. So people had to wait a whole another half an hour for the next train. So let's talk about that suspension on the Oyster Bay branch, because I saw buses there. I don't know if they were being used or just on standby, but yes, here you go. Taken today at Mineola, MTA coach buses back on Long Island at last. It's been a long time since I've seen them, and I was very happy to see them back. Maybe they're finally starting to hear us about this by getting the MTA buses out here on standby. I think it's really important because there needs to be another way around for people. You can't just leave them completely stranded, and you can't put people on school buses. School buses are not meant to carry adults, and they're unsafe at highway speeds. And so I was glad to see these buses here. I'm assuming they were on standby. They probably were using them, though they should have said that there were buses available at Mineola. They never did, but they should have said that buses were available at Mineola, so if people going on the Oyster Bay branch could get home. But I was glad to see it. But there were delays. Also, this Ronkonkoma train was late. Doesn't stop at Mineola. It's passing by at around 5:06. And speaking of late, nice buses were late and bunched up. A whole bunch of them came in at once while I was waiting around 5 o'clock. 224s in a row. I think there were 222s in a row. A lot of delays for nice bus. I guess because of traffic or I don't know what it was, but got a lot of people from the city out here on Long Island this weekend causing a lot of problems. And these people were waiting for the 22 at 6 o'clock, which didn't show up until 6:22. And then there were delays on the trains going back. Oh, jeez, this is what the problem is. They're holding it up for the Montauk train. The Ronkonkoma train's already late, and Ronkonkoma train's already late, and they're letting that train go ahead. Oh, that train's packed. Shinnecock open. It's not that bad. No, that's not stopping at the station. That's a Montauk train. apparently that Montauk train's got to go ahead of everybody. So, yep. What's going on is we're being held here because the Ronkonkoma train at 6:16 is late, and apparently they held that Ronkonkoma train even more to let a Montauk train go, and we have to wait because we're in the 6:28, and that 6:16 is supposed to be ahead of us. So, of course, everybody naturally got on our train, and I told them that, you know, the other train is leaving first, but they're listening though. Yeah, I told you the other train was going to leave first. That's why we're waiting. 6:16. That's going to leave first. That's going to be an express. So that's going to be express? Yeah, this one's going to be local. That one's going to be express. Yep.
Let's go. That's express.
See, they wouldn't listen to me. That's the express train, yes. I keep telling people that. They listen, they don't listen. That's the other train. They try to get the doors closed now. Probably waiting to go east. I'm sure it's packed there. Not that bad. We're still sitting here. Trying to close the doors, and now people keep coming. See all the confusion this causes because one train is late. I'm sure the Babylon Branch is running just fine. Alright, you know what? I'm taking these. You want to sit here? It's alright. Alright. This train's gonna get crowded now. Finally gonna move, right? Yay! Yeah, I was not in Hicksville for long, actually, and I'm gonna talk about this in another video. But the situation with these snobs coming out of the city is just getting worse and worse and worse, and there was just so many of them. I just decided to go right back to Mineola. Luckily, the conductors did not come through on both trains, so I didn't have to pay any extra to go to Hicksville, but it seems that the snobs are becoming a real problem. They're just all over the island. They're coming out now from the city, and I'm going to talk about it in another video, not this video. But the other thing that I want to just mention is, yes, I know there's a committee meeting on Monday. I do not know if I'm going to speak there or not. I would like to, but to be honest with you, because it's a combined meeting between Metro North and the Long Island Railroad, I don't know if I'm going to even be heard. It's just a waste of breath, and I'm going to talk about some of this stuff in another video. So that's it for this one. Again, problems on the Long Island Railroad today, and we still have another day of this crazy weekend to go.